An ancient mural painting in the Namibian pyramids depict a giant carrying two elephants. Now, we should not be surprised at the giants here depicted in ancient murals. We know in the book of Genesis, we have references to giants. There were giants in the earth in those days and after. We have giants at the time of King David, the young David, with his attempt to save Israel against Goliath. Goliath was a giant and his brothers as well. And what about the 12 spies that went into the promised land when they looked like insects compared to the people that were residing in that land at that time? They were giants. So this is we're going to take a look at the landscape of Namibia. You'll see a lot of beautiful pictures here of their temples. This is known as the land of Kush. And this area is full of sand. We're going to take a look at the geology on Google Earth. You're going to be surprised at what's going on there. Now, obviously, this area was fertile at one point when these things were built. It was not a desert. Now, if you drive north from Khartoum along a narrow desert road towards the city of Meroe, a breathtaking view emerges from beyond the mirage. Dozens of steep pyramids piercing the horizon, and no matter how many times you may visit, there is an odd sense of discovery. In Meroe itself, once the capital of the kingdom of Kush, the road divides the city. To the east is the royal cemetery, packed with close to 50 sandstone and red brick pyramids of varying heights. Many have broken tops, the legacy of 19th century European looters, of course. To the west is the royal city, which includes the ruins of a palace, a temple, and a royal bath. Each structure has a distinctive architecture that draws on local Egyptian and Greco-Roman decorative tastes, evidence of Meroe's global connections. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box. Now, a brief history of the land of Kush. The first settlers in northern Sudan, this is a Sudan area of today, date back 300,000 years. It's home to the oldest sub-Saharan African kingdom, the Kingdom of Kush, about 2,500 to 1,500 BC. This culture produced some of the most beautiful pottery in the Nile Valley, including the Kerma beakers. Sudan was coveted for its rich natural resources, particularly gold, ebony, and ivory. Several objects in the British Museum collection are made of these materials. Ancient Egyptians were attracted southward seeking these resources during the Old Kingdom, about 2686 BC, which often led to conflict as Egyptian and Sudanese rulers sought to control trade there. Now, Kush was the most powerful state in the Nile Valley around 1700 BC. The conflict between Egypt and Kush followed, culminating in the conquest of Kush by Thutmose, 1504 to 1492 BC. In the west and south, Neolithic cultures remained, as both areas were beyond the reach of the Egyptian rulers. The city of Meroe and the strange mural painting of the giant carrying two elephants. The city of Meroe is marked by more than 200 pyramids, of which many are in ruins. They have the distinctive size and proportions of Nubian pyramids. The site of Meroe was brought to the knowledge of Europeans in 1821 by the French mineralogist Frédéric Golet. The most interesting objects were the reliefs and paintings on the walls of the sepulchral chambers. One of the paintings depicts a giant of enormous proportions carrying two elephants, and very easily it looks like. His features are not Nubian but Caucasian, and his hair is light in color. Will this mural painting be proof of the existence of a race of red-haired giants with 6 fingers in antiquity? Okay, so he's you can see that he looks Caucasian more than anything. In the distant past, did giants really roam around the Nile Valley? In 79 AD, the Roman historian Josephus Flavius wrote that the last of the race of Egyptian giants did live in the 13th century BC during the reign of King Joshua. He further wrote that they had huge bodies and their faces were so unlike ordinary humans that it was amazing to look at them, and it was scary to listen to their loud voice, which was like a lion roar. Moreover, many of the wall paintings of the ancient Egyptians depict the builders of pyramids as giant people by the size of 5 to 6 meters tall. It's up to 20 feet tall. According to experts, these giant people were able to lift 4 to 5 tons of block individually. Some of those ancient mural paintings showed giant kings ruling ancient Egypt, while some depicted comparably little-sized servants under the giant people. In 1988, Gregor Spoeri, a Swiss entrepreneur and a passionate admirer of the history of ancient Egypt, met with a gang of robbers of ancient burials through one of the private suppliers in Egypt. The meeting took place in a small house in Bir Hooker, 100 kilometers northeast of Cairo, where Spoeri witnessed a giant mummified finger wrapped in rags. The finger was very dry and light. According to Spoeri, the incredible creature to which it belonged should have been at least 16.5 feet in height. To prove the authenticity, one tomb raider showed a photo of an X-ray of the mummified finger taken in the 1960s. This is published in Information History on Collective Spark. Let's take a look now at Google Earth so you can see what the area actually looks like. It was not always like this, but you can see volcanic activity, lava flows, desert, sand, and of course nobody living there. Let's take a look at Google Earth. So here we are, look at this. Look at this, isn't that beautiful? Look at these things here. But this is beautiful. It reminds us of Crater of the Moon, Idaho lava flows. Amazing, amazing. So obviously this was not always like this. And I don't know about the geology of Africa. I'm sure that under the Sahara, you have a lot of this going on. That is so clean. It looks as if it's been done recently. Look at this, look at this, look at this. There's even a river of lava flow there. Look at this. It's amazing. Shall we go in more? I don't know what that white stuff is. Is that snow? I have no idea what the elevation is here. But look at the scars on here. Amazing. Pulling out. You can see even nodes over here, like craters there. Not craters, but cinder cones. And this is the land of Kush right here. Okay, right there, the land of Kush, Sudan, today's Sudan, the beginning of the Nile, as we see there. Right there. Okay, so obviously this was not, Africa was not always like this. It was quite lush and green, but something happened. We don't know if it was an ancient technology that did this, or perhaps extensive volcanic activity. Okay, so we know yesterday's video concerning the demise of the ancient Egyptian pharaohic system. The last pharaoh of Egypt was Cleopatra, as we know, and she was, ugly. She had a face only a mother could love. I'm sorry, but I have to say that. She was not at all beautiful. And she was trying eagerly to save Egypt by somehow having some kind of an alliance with Rome, the new kid on the block that had the power. and to safer people, but that didn't work out either because they had no, because of the volcanic activity there, the ash flow and the sulfuric gases in the atmosphere changed the climate to the point where it dried up the Nile, and of course they didn't have food production, which caused social unrest for hundreds of years. This was around the time of, from the time of Alexander the Great up to her demise. Okay, so obviously we have that as historic evidence, but you could see other archaeologists also found that looking through Google Earth, they found volcanic activity in this area, also this area, that caused the breakdown of certain empires as well. So please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. I hope you found this interesting. Ancient giants.